awaited video, to be honest, and I'm basically going to be showing you the trades that I've took this May. I think I haven't been even active with regard to my standard strategies results and stuff and posting trades real time since the last trade I've actually posted. So I think I've took trades in between that I can't quite remember, but I've been immensely ill. I'm way better now though. I'm completely better now. But it took about it's probably been about 5 days ago since I started to be able to do things. So, and I might not, and you won't even be able to comprehend I was that ill with how I'm talking now. But anyway, I'm going to be going over the trades this May that I've took that have netted me around $7,500. We can quickly do the math right now. So let's just have a look. So 499.3. Let's just see, 499.3, and then there should be 42750 somewhere in here. 42750. Okay, so oh god. Right. Well, oh yeah. Okay. So anyway, we'll tally it up to the best we can. Okay, so we've got 806 there. We've got 926 there. We've got 178650, 1786. Yeah. Add 976. So we've got 97650 already included. 4999, 4999, 13. We've got that included. 400. And then 915. Add 400. Add 935. 935. Add 481, and then 1,000, which was today. 1,000. Add 504, and I've also added $2 in there too to make, because there's loads. I didn't count most of it. So yeah, we've literally netted $7,580 on 50 and 25k account. So that's pretty amazing, to be honest. So what I'm here to show is the trades that I took. What I took to take those, the procedure that I went through each day to be led to the direction to look for the setup on. So yeah, let's do it. It'll be interesting for myself to go over it, to be honest. So I thought I may as well do a video. So I mean, it's much needed. It's much needed. I'm just gonna turn this off. I've got it on my phone. So yeah, I guess we'll start with it'd be good if I had the dates. So I think this was the 30th of April. I hope this isn't too much of a long video. I have a feeling it could be. But anyway, yeah, so we'll do the 30th of April. I should have the charts, but I'm not sure which layout it's on, because I got a few, to be honest. So, and I've been researching a lot of things recently, so yeah. Okay, let's just make it easier and have a look. So, what date was this? This was the 28th. Oh, I've also not included. I also forgot to include these. Shit. This is going to be it's quite a task. So that's me sending through the video. So I guess we'll start on the 28th of April. Right. So we'll start with the 28th of April. And I mean, we need to, if you just round it to 600, then that's $8,000, and then that's about $8,800 or something like that. So $8,800. That's almost 10,000 since the 28th of April, which is 10 days. Right. So we're starting with GU. I'm just going to utilize the CFD platform. Oh god. Yeah, well, we're going to turn these things off. I only utilize them for real time. I don't even use them really, but like, yeah, I get the gist. Okay. I think actually what I'm going to utilize is a fresh layout that I probably, well, oh my goodness. Yeah, see. Damn, I see it's already 2:40, man. Like you would already be 20. You would already be 40 minutes into your shift. Like, mate, time goes so quick, and people still somehow find the time to party and shit. It just blows my head, man. To be honest, I'm not even being deadly serious too. Okay, so I mean, like, I kind of wanted to relax a little bit today, but nah, man, that ain't happening. Plus, after this, I've got a bit of a battering at my part-time job too. Maybe like, yeah, and because I'm in Friday, and then also the next day at 1. I'm just gonna feel like I haven't even left the place, but then after that I'm off till Tuesday, I think, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You don't care. So, I'll suck it up and do it. Okay, so yeah, I can instantly see that today was probably predictable for longs, just based on the way that the most recent daily bar closed the way it did amongst the region of what push was in play. So you can see here, short-term pushes in play. Your wick rejected the low region or push to the downside. It's likely to push higher. So that's the most probable market cycle phase. That's the most probable market cycle phase. Oops. In play relative to the daily. So they're the movements what are expected to occur relative to the daily. It's likely to be a retracement to the upside. Because it's reacting from the lows. It's wick rejected in the low region, so it's likely to just reverse flip higher. Anyway, so here you've got short-term pushes in play as usual, and then you've got a wick rejection at the high region. It's likely to push lower. So the movements relative to the 12 bar are likely to push lower, but then relative to the 9 hour, you've also got short-term pushes in play, and you've got a wick rejection at the high region and a push to the upside. Relative to the 8 hour, you've got a clean push higher, which is with the most recent bar closing right at its highs. At the high region of a push to the upside, with the most recent bar closing right at its highs, it's likely to lead to further range expansion to the upside. I'm going to kind of just fly through this, to be honest, because I'll be here for ages, and like I said, I kind of want to just do some relaxing and stuff, which what that is for me is just playing around with some new things and just researching my initial approach. So here you've got the most recent 4-hour bar closing right at its highs, and it's likely to just push higher. It's likely to continue to expand higher because you got short-term pushes in play, and then you got a most recent bar closing right at the overextended high region, but at its highs. It's likely to just further expand higher, and that's also the case for the daily. The 3-hour, you got some wick rejection signs showing at the high region will push to the upside. The 2-hour, you've got short-term pushes in play, and you got a recent bar closing right at its highs at the overextended region. It's just likely to push higher, but factoring in all the other types, see how the 1-hour close, it is likely to push to the point that we would need it to push to, and I'm not gonna lie, on this day you probably would, you definitely would want to see a nice 1-hour bar close. So you'd just be waiting at the OTR region, and that 1-hour bar close that you're looking for is relatively nice in the context of how how iffy / probable the movements what are likely to occur relative to all of the time frames are, and the daily is likely to definitely retrace higher. I say definitely, but not in terms of it's definitely in the no. It's just the way it's the way the most recent bar close amongst the region of the push that's in play. What movements that suggest? It definitely suggests upside. It doesn't necessarily definitely mean, in fact, it doesn't even necessarily, it doesn't mean it's going to push higher. No, but it definitely does imply that. So, you got a fine line there. But, anyway, so from here, it would make sense to drop down as of 8 and look for longs. Well, there we go. I've got it marked up. And then what you do is you got the entry point there, and then you mark out how much pips it is at the low, and then you basically mark out an appropriate amount to give, and then look at how that compares to the price action to the left. And you just utilize your thing. It's kind of coming in here. Honestly, I would probably just stick it about halfway of this, so basically there. I'm pretty sure that's where I did have it actually. And then target 101. You can easily get a 101 to the highs or just above. Oh my god, really? Oh my god. Well, good job we finished that. If for example you couldn't get a 1-to-1 till about here, you would just sag it off and you just wait. Maybe look for another confirmation bar, for example. Anyway, so that's that trade. So it will eventually F off, and if it doesn't, I'll go and smash it up. So it would happen this one. Fucking hell. Anyway. So we've got the 30th of April on Euro. Right, 3 more rings and I'm smashing it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Trader Rages live on Trade Breakdown. Nerd Trader breaks telephone on live. Anyway, right. So the 30th of April on Euro USD. Okay. Fucking stupid cunt. Anyway. Really can't even be asked to be doing this, to be honest. You see, I just like to trade. It's enough. I can't even be asked to do this YouTube shit, but it's also good because if anyone wants to kind of be funny with you, well, show them this, and you got all the proof listed on here. So The 30th, anyway, you got wick rejection at lows, yeah, closes basically at the highs with slight wick rejection at the very high region of a push to the upside, overextended to. So you'd want to investigate this slight wick rejection, but it did close pretty much as high, so it is likely to push higher. Relative to the daily, it's probably uncovered with how next step lower time frames are as of this day, right? That this movement was likely to occur. Basically. So as of here, cells would have probably been uncovered that they were likely the case to play out on next step lower time frame ways that their recent bar closes closed the way however they did at the region of whatever push was in play, right? So anyway, with that being said, you got this push to the upside and you got a wick rejection to the downside. So I kind of forgot. I think it was short or something on this day. I can't remember. So this just shows that I'm doing this live. So like you got this most recent bar close, right? Because obviously it's the 30th. So the most recent 12-hour bar close is just wick rejection the lows of an overextended push to the downside. It's likely to pull higher. So if you look at the 9-hour, okay, well this, oh never mind, no, this also suggests that. So the daily, what was that pointing for? It was kind of pointing for long, so it was the 12-hour, yeah, and then this 12, slightly push lower. There we go. And then you got like, so wick open this is like part of one push and play, but then you got a wick rejection at the low region of this push and play at the downside, and it's just likely to push higher really. So all time frame recent bar closes, most probable market cycle phases point towards higher, as of now anyway. So same thing here. Wick rejection at the lows, push higher. Wick rejection at the lows, over and overextended short term push to the downside, it's likely to pull higher. Does it? Yeah, it does. I wonder how long this is going to take. Okay, so yeah, same thing here. So you've got wick rejection, so you got a wick rejection at the lows, and you know, like that's all you can say. The most recent bar close at the low end region of an overextended short term push to the downside. Wick rejecting the very low region of. It's likely to wick pull higher, of course, relative to, or on the level, as Ted would say, as like the relative short term 4-hour pushes. So like on that playing field, basically, it doesn't mean that it's likely to pull all the way up to here. It's likely to pull up relative to this short term leg, like movement amounts. So it could pull up to about here, and I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, so there we go. So the reason why I say there is because it's like so you've established what directions likely to occur, and then you've also established what like magnitude of that movement of that direction most likely to occur is, and then pair that up with a like whole level number, and that would come in at about there. So, you know, it's just experience. There's nothing magical going on there. So, yeah. Okay, so the 3-hour. Oh, hang on. Okay, so the 3-hour is wick rejection the high region of a push to the upside, and closes a decently strong close. But there is a slight wick rejection there, and so you may now be thinking to yourself, well, you're probably going to need to see the 2-hour setup properly. Well, I mean the 1-hour. But here, this kind of points to lower. So yeah. The 1-hour, based on all the other time frames haven't been analysed, though, you probably would be looking for longs on this day, but we'll see. So here, I think this was actually, wait, what, 2 sec. Wait. Yeah, so you got a slight wick rejection at that short-term high regional push to the upside. So basically what, yeah, I remember this day actually. I mean, I should remember it because I'm trading every single day. Of course, just within this time period, but yeah, so, and then you have to adjust it here, so like, yeah, it comes lower, but it doesn't close nice at this region, does it? It closes all the way up here, and also with this wick rejection at the highs. So you just want to wait, and then you obviously mitigate the OTR as of this bar, and then you get a nice wick rejection relative to the iffiness of the movements what are likely to occur as of the given day being weighted towards one direction over the other, and the time frame level, which is the 12 daily, 9 and 8, all pointing towards possible retracement higher. Of course, that movement is all relative to each time frame's like push, so short term, because they're all short term pushes in play on this day. That's mostly the case anyway. But yeah, so it'd be short term relative to the 12 hour, etc., etc., etc. So anyway, as of this day at 10, you'd be dropping down. I hope this is the right trade. I mean, this is the thing that I've been led. Yes, I remember this day. This is when I was contemplating. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, right? Although, like, look, so I'm not even like, look, I can show you that I did take this trade, and I actually think I took a loss on the 25k, but I profited on this was the 50k, so I think I got lucky here. So you can see it's the 30th. Yeah. So wait, this is 10-minute time frame. What the hell? Help if it was the 15. So I think I did take this, but looking back, I probably wouldn't have took it, and I would have had to wait for another nice 15M bar close. So this would have been an occasion where, like, yeah, okay, it's valid to drop down, but the 15M didn't close nice enough, and you would have basically had to wait for another 15M nice close, but your time period's done, right? But I still executed this, and yeah, so I can't remember where I got out. Like, what time? So I got out at about 1:30 on this day. I must have been off this day, so I was lucky. Yeah. See, so I got out no. Yeah, I must have got out about... Wait, what? I must have got out somewhere about there, because I would have had my... Like, looking at this, right? So what you do is you line up this. So, of course, I can see this. But look, I don't trick myself, so you'll see. So, you see, you line up how much it is. You see it's 130. You then look to the left and see what zones are to the left. Excuse me. And also factor in the context of the iffiness of the given day's direction playing out. So, I honestly think that would be too much. I honestly think I should have been stopped out of this, regardless, to be honest, because, yeah, this, I mean, yeah, the 4 hour, what was the 4 hour looking like on this day? Okay, so this is a bit, this is a bit worrying. But this was only unclean day, so yeah, hang tight. Okay, so yeah, the 4 was pretty nice to go higher. It was just all the other time frames that weren't really like this. This was really iffy, to be honest. But you have to consider what movements are likely to occur relative to all other time frames. So it's like, yeah, okay, the 3 hour might be wick rejecting the highs. The 2 hour may be also wick rejecting the high region, looking like good to push lower. Well, that's just like, okay, well, you just need to see the 1 hour setup appropriately, and then you also look at how the 1 hour setup itself, and and then deal with it accordingly. So here you just want to see a retracement, see the retracement what's likely to play out, and then that's what you'd be looking for anyway, because you wouldn't be looking to buy here, because the 3 and 2 hour, if you bought here, you could easily get caught on the side of a retracement what looks probable. But like, of course, the movement could just blast higher, but that's not likely to be the case, right? So you just like look for it, you just deal with it accordingly. So like here and then here, you do get an okay bar close, to be honest, but like, I'm not gonna lie, this bar isn't valid. Like, I guess if you also mark out your playable range, like, that's just too much of a wick rejection. Like, it's not even valid, this. But I don't really, like, where the hell did I have a screenshot or something of this? Because, like, let's have a look. So this is the 30th. Okay, so it's not on this one. Tell you what, as well, I hate the 1 minute time frame. It's awful. Okay. So I did. I chose to have my stop, but I also think I got a good entry here because I didn't enter at first, but then I glanced again, and I was like, shit, we could get a good entry, and then that's how I entered about here, and then I think because I entered about here, I was like, well, let's just let's just give it 20 pips. Yeah, that's honestly probably my that. Yeah, see, there we go. That was my thinking, right? And then I got a really good fill on the 50k, and then that's how I ended up getting this 101 because that's what I go for, of course. But like I said, this wasn't even valid. So, like, and I think I did genuinely take a loss on the 25k on this, and I didn't incorporate this. So, and the loss would have been, I think it was about $500. So, 678. So let's just detract it, and that's it. That's the only loss I took. Not that that's like good or bad. It's just the case. I'm not saying like, oh, well, that's the only loss I took. No, that's the only loss. I don't lose basically. There's no. It's not what I'm saying. But yeah, this wasn't even valid. Okay, but yes, that was what I had done. So yeah, and I think you can also see that in my actual entry thing here. Well, you cannot really, but it says that I ended about 117. So that's yeah. So yeah, and that's why I got 800 quid because I just thought I'll just close it. 717. So yeah, I entered about there, about here, about here. So it was about here, like right there, just a bit above this low. So yeah, I got a really good fill. But that trade was not valid whatsoever. It's a very just not valid trade and entry bar. So anyway, yeah, there we go. There's that. So now we'll do the next trade. Um, ah, oh yeah, we also took a euro loss too. So we need to detract another. I forgot two. We did also take one more euro trade that was a loser. I'm going for my camera roll. So see, I'm not. Yeah, so it's probably about. And I would have lost 500. So six, 800. Yeah. Okay. So so this trade was the 1st of May. It was an extremely unlucky trade. This. It was also on euro. It's not very nice euro. Don't like it. See, it's now 3 o'clock. Now the guys at my part-time job will have already got an hour done. I know they've still got a lot left, but like, still, for me, time fucking flies by. It really does. It's quite crazy. Anyway, it's best when like you're not really you might be looking forward to something, but like you're not really waiting to do something that's close to the time too, because then time can kind of drag. But anyway, like for example, yesterday I was wanting it, so I'll just look. It's all right anyway. You got this wick rejection. You results in a bit of a reaction. You pull lower. Your wick rejection, the lows overextended regional push the downside slightly to pull higher. So anyway, yeah, I was wanting this chocolate bar yesterday before I would and I was looking forward to it at the end of my shift to walk back and eat it because I like to do that. It's like just nice. It's at that time when like no one's around and yeah, it's just it's just chill as hell, and I just walk back and eat my chocolate. So And yeah, I was like waiting to do that, and so time kind of dragged because I didn't have it. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, here the most recent 12-hour bar close, where it closed the way it did was at the low end region of overextended region of a short term push to the downside, closing right at the low end region, and wick rejecting at the very low region of, suggesting a possible retracement higher. So um here, same thing, just like it's the most recent bar closed right at the low end region. But push to the downside, it's likely to just reverse slash retrace higher with the most recent bar close wick rejecting slash reacting at the lows. It's, if it's reacting at the low end region, it's likely to have some sort of a retracement. That's what it's showing with. I was gonna find like an example of a bar closing right at the top. Yeah, like here. So this bar closing like, so you see short term pushes are in play. You follow my mouse, wick rejection at the highs, it's likely to retrace. It does. Wick rejection at the lows, it's likely to pull higher, and then you get a slight wick rejection at the highs, but it closes pretty much at its highs. It's likely to therefore just continue to expand higher. Here, it wick rejects the low end region, or push the down, or short term push to the downside. It's likely to also push higher. What does this bar do? Okay, whatever, I'm going off topic. So yeah, here anyway, yeah, it's wick rejecting the low, so it's likely to reverse higher. Here, I remember this day because it was quite iffy because this wasn't that prominent of a wick rejection. But yeah, you were slightly wick rejecting at lows, but because you see that 4 or 8 hour setup like that, you just want to investigate how the 4 hour and stuff time frame, the 4 hour and below time frame recent bar closes closed the way however they did at their region of at like the region of whatever pushed and play on those time frames, and how they go close the way they did at basically. I can't believe it's 3 o'clock. It literally feels like it's about 10. What time did I finish working out? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah, it feels like it should be about 1, 12 o'clock ish at max, not 3. And I think it's because I worked out late today. Anyway, so you wick reject, so the most recent bar close is wick rejecting the low region or push the downside. It's just likely to retrace higher. 3 hour, I'm pretty sure it's a prominent wick rejection. Yeah. So here, your wick rejecting the lows, slightly pull higher because you got short term pushes in play, pushing lower, then you start to respect the lows, and then you just wick reject the low region, and then it's likely to follow with some sort of retracement. But I'm gonna not dwell on life's time moving so quick because I'm obviously at work tomorrow and I don't have any. Well, I do have time there to do stuff that I want to do because I can go to the gym, I can trade, I can also do research. But I quite like to just kind of have the whole day to just do what I want. And of course, the time will come where that's the case. But you know, I mean, I'm there. I'm at my part-time job for a lot 8 hours. In my head it's well, actually it's 7 hours 30 to be honest. Well, you are technically there, it's 8 hours because you're obviously there on your break, but oh yeah, and then on this day it would just be valid to look for long straight away. Oh yeah, I remember this day now. So yeah, see, I came to the conclusion, same thing, so it's good to see. This is also how I do any other all day too. um like yeah. Okay. And I'd probably mark up the playable. Seen as like there was like a really kind of strong direction today. Like the 12 and daily were all nicely wick rejecting the lows. I'm pretty sure anyway. We can quickly check, but I would, to be honest, yeah, you would just mark up that. And if you just look at the 12-hour first, yeah, and it's just like, I mean, if you go to the gym after this, it's then like 5 o'clock, and then your day's basically done. So, but I guess it's just what you have to do at this time in your life, and because you can't. I mean, it just eases a lot of pressure, to be honest, until you get quite under the way with things. But yeah, I do think I am quite under the way, getting there anyway. Okay, so yeah, it looks good. And then if you just cycle through all the other time frames, um, yeah, 8 hour, yeah, looks okay considering how the time frames are set up. 4 hour, you got work rejection, pull lower, work rejection at the lows, it's likely to pull higher. What was the 2 hour doing? 3 hour was a prominent wick rejection, proportionate to. So here, wick rejection, short term pushes in place, likely to just pull higher because it's wick rejecting below the lows of the short term push to the downside, which is therefore an overextended region that the market's beginning to wick reject. It's likely to just pull higher. Because like even if I was like not there tomorrow, or just not there in general, I mean, it would be quite nice, to be honest. But eventually I would get all the shit that I need done, and like and all the stuff that I need done isn't like, I mean, it does need doing, but it's kind of just something that I'm working away with and just kind of plowing, like a hobby type stuff, like like just keeping on top of the research and stuff, and because I'm doing the same thing as what I'm doing here, you know. Or I don't know, maybe he's looking at something else, like looking at testing something else out, you know. And I'd just be cracking on with that constantly, but like that'll get, it does. If I remember, it did happen. It gets boring, and you kind of want to just do other things, um, and then like it is a good break. But sometimes when you've kind of got something under the way, not necessarily this, but because I've had this under the way for ages, mate. But like I'm looking at some higher time frame thing now, and you kind of just like you want to just crack on with it, and you don't really want to go to your part-time job, but eventually you'll have it solidified whether or not you're sticking with it, or whether you're not. And then after, if you don't have anything to do, it gets boring as hell, and then I just work out. That's what I'd done anyway when I didn't have the part-time job. I would do in those circumstances. But anyway, yeah, this is the trade. So it was quite high probable. This bar didn't close at a region off the playable range, which was invalid. An invalid region would be about, I would probably say about there. Yeah, about here. So it was fine there. It was just a bit above, and then you would just want your stop about here. So that's even higher. So and basically what you would do is you just measure out like what 150 looks like, too small. So you would just want about this. You'd want, in fact, that's even kind of big. You would probably just want that, to be honest, something about there. And yeah, you can get a 1-to-1 just above the highs. So that was the trade. And yes, this resulted in a minus 2% of my 25k and 50k. So yeah. Anyway, we'll soon make all that back and quite a bit more. So yeah, that was that trade. Really suckage trade. Yeah, it just was. So Friday. Um, so Friday. what date is this? Friday. I can't believe it's... I mean, soon I'm off for like 2 weeks, so I can just kind of have a... But that'll go by really quick too. So, anyway, yeah. So Friday the 2nd. So we're looking at the 2nd now. So you're probably picking up on what I'm doing too, and I'm just gonna, as soon as I'm I'm got this video so much, I'm like, there's quite a lot on this, I'm gonna just break it up here and make a new